Absolutely.
So now we're going to move into game number 6, which is going to be Kaio for Complexity and Kavika again for Starcraft 2 Strategy.
Yep, and we do have some bio information on Kyle. He's been a longer team member of Complexity Academy, hailing from Fort Thomas in the United States. He's consistently been Grandmaster through both Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, and he's also been a student during that time, so very busy guy. Currently, he's attending a local university full-time, pursuing a double major in philosophy and Japanese. In his interests in free time, he likes to watch anime and loves cute things. Uh, Wants to move to Japan after graduating and work as a teacher. And his playstyle could be described as an innovative, creative style. And sometimes he just pulls all ins. Was one of the first North American players to test, implement, and provide guides for 3-star grade Void Ray and Mass Tempest strategies in PvZ. You can find him at on Twitter at KYO7763, and his Twitch is under the same name. I will post those into chat.
So now we're sitting at the scores 3-2 Starcraft 2 Strategy, one game ahead of Complexity Academy. Kavika really coming out and flexing his muscles to pull his team back after losing a couple games to Complexity's Pooh. I mean, we've seen such a wide variety of strategies this evening. It's been really interesting from Protoss, especially. Duster going with the more traditional Forge Fast Expand out front. Pooh liking his kind of one gate expand, which allowed him to put a little bit more pressure on. But we've definitely seen a variety. I was interested to hear in Kaio's profile that he liked the Stargate and the Tempest in PvZ a lot, because that's something we don't see a ton, but definitely interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe we'll see it in this game. Who knows?
Yep, again, for those of you who are joining us, this is Starcraft 2 Community Team League. I am Aaron, aka Wingnut SC, and my dapper fellow here with me is Nick, aka Galligation.
Thanks for joining us.
If you enjoy the show tonight, give us a follow on Twitter. Also follow SC2CTL so that you can keep apprised of updates of matches we'll be casting. We cast Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on this channel, so favorite the channel as well. Also, big thanks to Das Keyboard for providing the prizes for this tournament.
We are very early on in the tournament. We've got lots more games coming in the coming months, so please stay tuned.
Yeah, Pool Stage 2 just closed last week, which this is these matches are from Week 3, which was last week, of Pool Stage 1. Pool Stage 2 just started, so not many games have been played in that yet, but I believe after that then we'll go into a bracket format from that.
And all that information will be available on SC2CTL.com.
As we jump into Game 6 here, in the upper right-hand corner, sporting the pink trunks, you gotta respect the guy that wears pink. It's Complexity's Academy's Kaio.
And in the bottom left from Starcraft2 Strategy, we have the current leader in the winning races. I don't know why I said that way. At any rate, it is Kavika Akita.
So, we've seen some pretty cool things out of Kavika so far. What shall we see this game?
Well, he's been doing a lot of that, put a hatchet in the enemy natural, and it's been paying off for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it again, but, he may be anticipating that his opponent will have watched the previous games and be expecting that and go for a different strategy altogether.
Big shout out to Bo's Style in chat. I don't think I've had any 99 bananas tonight. Have you?
I'm not going to answer that. Well. No, I
haven't. Definitely also take a second to type to us in chat. Give us some feedback. We haven't heard any feedback. We assume that means everything is going just peachy. Something we can do to make your experience more enjoyable, please tell us. We've definitely taken feedback over the weeks and crafted things a little bit to make things cleaner, nicer, fancier, overall more enjoyable. Feedback is a good thing. Looks like Kaio going for his gateway, double gas, and Kawi going for the hatch at his natural, which is a deviation from the play he has been doing, because I believe he's been putting down the hatch at his opponent's base just prior to the hatch at the natural. He does have a drone.
He does have a drone going over there, though, and he is saving up minerals, so it's possible that we'll see the same play again. And he's got this timing perfect. Look at that, 300 minerals, putting that down right into the natural.
This is definitely a rehearsed strategy, as we can see. The timings are lining up very nicely. I'm assuming that the Complexity folks have been watching the previous replays, so they're possibly expecting this. He doesn't obviously see this coming down yet, as the Overlord pokes in to see what's up.
And Kaio has no idea that this hatchery is going down. It may actually finish. It's about halfway done at this point. Now there's a probe going down to put its natural in, and ooh.
What's the reaction from Kaio going to be? Is he going to pull all his probes just like Duster did? A single zealot like Pooh did? Looks like a single zealot going to come down and see what he can do, but a single zealot is definitely going to allow this to finish.
He is chrono boosting out a mothership core and another zealot.
It's like a couple folks in chat saying this Zerg is crazy. Definitely enjoying Kavika's play. If you enjoyed his play, go follow him on Twitter. Let him know it was cool. Let him know we sent you.
And he does offer coaching, so you can check him out if you want to learn how to do this style. That hatch does finish, but he doesn't look like he's going to produce any queens out of it. The DPS is just too strong to even bother with it.
It is going to delay that expansion by quite a bit, which Kaio was looking at, but he is going to put down 3 gateways right at the front to block that off. Oh,
and and Kavika does see that as well.
The broodlings there trapped the zealots a little bit, but everyone got out safe. There is an overlord being morphed from the larva at Kaio's natural.
And why not, right? In the meantime, he's putting down a spine crawler, anticipating this move of aggression.
Oh no, the larva. Are you going to save it? Oh no! Oh, another overlord comes out of that larva just before it committed suicide as the creep proceeded.
And that's how you are economical with your larva, making sure you use all of them, even the ones that are about to die.
Roach is now coming out for Kavika, as he's going to be hot on his inject timing as well. Hitting that right as it comes in. Probe going to be walking in, gets stabbed in the face a couple times by that spine crawler. 3 zealots and mothership core out front.
And this timing is just impeccable, you know. He just has it down. He knows when the aggression is going to come from the Protoss player, so that he has roaches available to defend against that. That spine crawler is finished. We do see a couple of sentry warp-ins and the mothership cores there, so it looks like Kaio's going to move forward with this aggression at any rate. And the roaches are there to greet.
Kaio's not going to be able to get anything done with this, so he's just going to get out while the getting is good. His expansion going down definitely slowed him down a lot. I feel like Kaio is, you know, I feel like he's a bit off now as he's trying to decide what to do. The food is well in favor of Kavika. If we look at units, it's 25 probes to 34 drones. Income is much higher for Kavika at 300 minerals more. Gas is a little lower, but that's just because he's focusing on the minerals.
Third does go down. At the same time, roaches are wandering across the north side of the map, going to go try and put on a little pressure. Kaio's putting down a hallucinated phoenix to go out and scout, see what he can find.
And these roaches aren't going to meet a ton of resistance here. If he ends up throwing down force field, it's going to block the zealots in, so the roaches are still going to be able to do some damage from the outside. I'm interested to see how Kaio deals with this. Looks like he's just going to try and poke with this stalker to fend him away for the moment. The mothership core is going to have 100 energy shortly after this Nexus finishes, so that will be a photon overcharge ready here in about 15 seconds or so, as it's about at 85 energy. I think mothership core actually regenerates 2 energy per second, now that I'm thinking about it. So third base going down for Kavika as well. He's going to be exercising that base lead as he's done every other game against the Protoss after he puts that hatch down at the natural. I would expect a 4th to come down here before too long as well. There's a pylon near the 4th, which Kavika does see, so that's not going to be any huge surprise. Looks like these roaches are going to be commanded to go take care of that in short order. Creep spread coming out as usual. Dark Shrine looks like it's about to finish for Kaio, so he's going to try and put some hurting down with the DTs. As we look around, we do not see any detection for
That's an interesting
Kavika.
response. We haven't seen that yet. at least tonight. But when behind, or rather anytime.
Yeah, as you know, anytime Dark Shrine, but it looks like he's got the Spidey sense as a Overseer does come out up front, but the question is, will he keep it at home or go out and scout with it? Looks like he's gonna move it around with his roaches.
More hallucinated phoenixes running out, gonna go see what they can see.
There's the 4th base going down now. As that pylon was taken out, these 2 hallucinated phoenix are gonna see the status of all the bases. More Overseers coming down, so these DTs will luckily be dealt with. If you can split them up well, it might do some damage, but not going to be a game winner, that's for sure. Looks like Kavika's sticking to his same build with range upgrade coming down. Another base, the 4th base, as DT's now coming into Kavika's 3rd, whacking away at that hatch.
Right there, they're getting it pretty low. One DT falls, second one goes down, the third one is going down. Is the last one going to... Oh my goodness, 53 HP left on that hatchery.
If he would not have pulled those drones, that hatchery would likely have gone down. Looks like Kavika is fortifying it now with 2 Evo chambers and a couple spine crawlers to zone out the surface area that DTs can come in at, because you know that's going to be a tasty target for Coyote to come back in to try and finish off. 1 DT headed across mid-map, going to be going towards the natural expansion, it looks like, but there's an Overseer there, so he's not going to make it too far. Oh, no, he's going to head in towards the 3rd to try and take this out. No detection there. It looks like he's going to be able to if this Overseer doesn't get back. 1 whack and 2 whack takes it out.
Oh, Kavika trying to target the DT, but ends up targeting his own drone. Only gets 1 shot off before pulling it away.
Does rebuild the base almost immediately. This DT, having served his purpose, says goodbye to the world. So it looks like we've got ranged attack level 2 coming down, while we've got Immortal and some +1/+1 upgrades coming from Kaio. A nice response, you know, seeing the previous games, knowing that he goes heavy roaches, going Immortals, but what do we have coming down from Kavika? It's a Spire.
And following up with some Zergling production as well. He was supply block there for a little bit, so we do see a lot of Overlords popping.
So obviously he's going to be transitioning back into, you know, Roach Hydra, or maybe even potentially Swarm Host at some point with these, the +2 attack range upgrades. More 14 Roaches being produced. So it looks like he's going to be using some mutas just to poke around with, and going to be focusing still on the ground army.
Kavika does have a changeling in the attack path that Kaio chose to use, so he is repositioning his army to try and intercept that.
Kaio looks like he's really focused on this 3rd base, but this is going to be tough for him because the Ling's going to come down and see he's there. The rocks are going to make this a pretty narrow choke, and Kavika is going to be ready. If you look at the food, is greatly in favor of Kavika. Shooting up to 170 now. It was at 150 just a second ago as he produces 10 more roaches. So he's definitely going to be ready for this attack. I would expect Kaio to probably do a recall once he comes in.
Apart. And the Stalker DPS output is just destroying anything that's able to get through the Evo.
Oh, nice surround with the roaches. Kaio would be wise to recall here as soon as he can.
Oh yeah, he flanks him. He still thinks he can get a lot of damage done here though, so he just force fields him out and keeps trying to tickle him and shoot him with Stalker loads.
As this force is mostly roaches, these Immortals are doing heavy damage. Looks like Kaio is going to be able to pull this together and do quite a bit of damage. The Warp Prism coming in to warp in some reinforcements. This 3rd base is going to be... Force field's kind of zoning his units out, so he can't really get a lot of DPS on that hatch, but more roaches going to be coming in to reinforce, targeting the Immortals down. Immortals have to pull back.
More force fields behind, effectively making the roaches unable to escape. And man, just so many units lost. We did note that Kavika was at 170 at the beginning of this battle. He's down to 109 and continuously reinforcing.
Those Immortals for Kaio just being a huge payoff. A couple changelings there to block some ground space as well, as Kaio's going to be able to finish off this 3rd base. But that is still going to leave Kavika with 3 bases to Kaio's 2. So Kaio able to do some pretty good damage here. As he's going to have to pull back. There's really no good attack path up in towards the natural. But definitely successful in at least keeping the base count down to within 1 base. But interested to see if Kaio ends up trying to take an expanded zone, as his main is maybe beginning to dry up here a bit.
Kavika does have a Warp Prism with his army. So we'll see if he decides to do any interesting elevator tricks or harasses with that. We do see a group of roaches moving around to try and flank or potentially wipe out those pylons.
Oh, three-way surround trying to happen here, but Kaio is going to retreat up the ramp. Nice force fields to zone out the roaches. Look at the kill counts on these Immortals. 14 kills by that one and 19 kills by that one. That is a huge number of kills by these Immortals.
5 Mutalisks are in production.
It's like the Warp Prism coming around the back of Kavika's base, see what he can get done with that, but Kaio's going to be in a tough spot here as there's another huge surround coming up with the forces of Kavika. Kaio doing a good job of keeping his units in these nice and narrow paths here so he can use his large sentry count to zone them out.
Just beautiful force fields, time warp going down. The mutas are there trying to do some damage, but they are getting cleaned up.
Looks like Kavika is going to end up making a nice push into on this one. Kaio is not going to be able to get away. Roach is coming up to snuggle, gets the GG.
Wow.
So a great game by Kavika again. I mean, it looked like he was going to be in a tough spot there for a while, but he just gets that, again, he just uses that, the hatch at the natural of his opponent to throw off their entire build and get in their head, which he didn't do quite as much with the extractor microwing and stuff, but definitely seems to be causing a problem for his opponents.
Yeah, and you know, Kaio had some amazing force fields that game, really was able to zone out all those roaches, get some heavy DPS using the Immortals incredibly well. But, you know, he just got himself out of position. He wasn't able to get his army back to home base and resupply with the rest of his army, basically. And once he ran out of those force fields, there was not a whole lot left of him.
Absolutely. If you wouldn't mind getting out of that game, so I can invite you.
Sorry about that.
So, as we have